Dạ rồi. Mấy cô cứ đọc, còn ai vô sau thì đọc sau. Dạ, mình cứ đọc thôi, còn ai vô sau thì đọc sau. Yeah. Rồi, biết ơn cô.
136. Yes.
100.
June the 24th, one method of addressing the members of the imaginary
The method of
cabinet
addressing the members of the imaginary cabinet should vary according to the traits of the character in which I was and for the moments were interested in acquiring. I studied the records of the life with the painstaking care after some months of the 90s procedure. I was astounded by the discovery that the imaginary became a partly based of these 9 men developed individual characteristics which surprised me. For example, Lincoln developed the habit of always being late, but then worked down the solemn paradox. When he came, he walked very slowly with his hands clapped behind him in one. In a right, he would start and he trusted and rest his hand momentarily upon my shoulder. He always wore an expression of seriousness upon his face. Really did I see him smile? The cares of Sanders Nation made him great. That was not true of other acting and paint. Arthur induced with party and seemed other members of cabinet. To other members of the cabinet. One night Payne suggested that I prepare a lecture of the theatre and deliver it from the pulpit of church. I formally attended. Many around the table laughed heartily at the suggestion. Not Napoleon. He threw his mouth down at his and groaned so loudly that all turned and looked at him with amazement. To him, the church was but a pawn of the state, not to be reformed, but to be used as a companion incited to mass activity by the people. On one occasion, Burbank was late. When he came, he was excited with enthusiasm and explained that he had been late because of an experiment he was making, through which he hoped to be able to grow apples on any sort of tree. Payne cheated him by reminding him that it was an apple which started all the trouble between men and women, Darwin hotly as he suggested that Payne should watch out for little serpents when he went into the forest to gather apples, as they had the habit of growing into big snakes. Emerson observed no serpents, no apples, and Napoleon remarked, no apples, no snakes. Lincoln developed the habit of always being the last one to leave the table after each meeting. On one occasion, he leaned across the end of the table, his arms folded, and remained in that position for many minutes. In that position for many minutes. I made no attempt to disturb him. Finally, he lifted his head slowly and got up and walked to the door, then turned around, came back and laid his hand in the shoulder and said, "My boy, you won't need much courage if you remain steadfast and carrying out your purpose in life. But remember, when difficulty overtake you, the common people have common sense. Adversity will develop it. One evening, Edison arrived ahead of all the other. He walked over and seated
Remember when
himself
difficulties
by
overtake you,
my
the
left.
common people
Then
have common
Innocence
sense.
was accustomed to
Adversity
speak and
will
said,
develop
"You
it.
are destined
One
to speak
evening,
like
Edison
to
arrived
witness
ahead
the
of all the
discovery of
others.
the
He
secret of
walked
life.
over and
When
seated
the time
himself
comes,
at
you
my
will
left.
observe
When
that life
Edison was
consists of a great
accustomed to
swath
sit
of
and said,
energy
"You
and
are destined to
entirety.
witness
It
the
cannot
discovery of the
intelligent
secret
as
of
human
life.
beings
When the
think
time comes, you
themselves
will
to be.
observe that
These
life
units
consists
of
of great
life go
swarms of
together
energy,
like
all
hives of
entities,
bees,
each
earth
as
bees, and
intelligent as
remain
human
together
beings think
until they
themselves to be.
this
These units
interprets
of life
like
group
earth
together
harmony.
like hives
These
of bees
units are
and remain
different
together
of
until they
opinion, the same
disintegrate.
as human
Through
beings
lack
and
of
often fight
harmony,
among themselves. This meeting which you are conducting will be very helpful to you, and they will bring your
these
rescue some
units have
sense
differences
units
of
of life in
opinion, the
serve
same as
the
human
members
beings,
of your
and often
cabinet
fight among
using the
themselves.
life.
These
These units
meetings,
are
which you
internal, they
are
are never
conducting,
die, that
will
of
be
your
very
own
helpful to
thought
you.
and
They will bring
desire
to
serve
your
as a manager
rescue
with
some of the
attract
same
units
units of life
of
which served
life
the members of your
from the
cabinet
great ocean
during
of
their
life
lives.
out there.
These units
Only
are
the friendly
internal.
units
They
are
never die.
attract and the
Your own
one
thoughts
will
and desires
harmonize
serve
with
as
the
a magnet
natures
which
of your
attracts units of
desire.
life from the great ocean of life out there. Only the friendly units are attracted to
And
ones
the
which
other member
harmonize
of the
with the
cabinet
nature of your
began to
desires.
enter the room.
The
Edison
other
got up
members of the
and
cabinet
slowly
began
walked
to enter
around
the
to
room.
his own
Edison
seat.
got up
Edison
and
was
slowly
still
walked
living
around to his
when
own
this
seat.
happened.
Edison was still living when this happened.
It
It
impressed
impressed
me
me
so
so
great that
greatly that I went
I
to see
went to
him
see him
and told
and
him
told
about the
him about
experience.
the
He
experience.
smiled
He smiled
broadly and said,
broadly and said,
"Your dream
"Your
was
dream
more
was more
reality
in reality
was more
than you
reality
may
than you may
imagine
imagine
it to
it to
have
have
been."
been."
He added no further
He added
explanation
no
to
further
his
explanation to
statement.
his statement. Day 137, June the
Day
24th.
137, this meeting
These meetings became so
became so
realistic that I
realistic that
became
I
fearful
became
of their
fearful of
consequences
the
and
consequences and
discontinued them for several
continued them
months.
for
The
several months.
experiences were
This
no
experience
uncanny.
was so
I was
uncommon. I
afraid
was
if I
afraid of
continued them, I would
continue,
lose
then I
sight
would
of the fact that the
lose sight
meetings
of the
were
fact that the
purely
meeting was
experiences of
purely
my
experience of
imagination.
my imagination.
Some 6
Some
months,
6 months after I had
I had discontinued the
discontinued
practice.
the
I
practice,
was
I were
awakened one
awakened
night,
one
or
night or
thought
thought
I was,
I
when
was
I
when
saw
I saw
Lincoln
Lincoln
standing at my
standing at my
bedside. He
bedside,
said,
and he said,
"The world
"The
will
world
soon
will
need your
soon need
services."
your service."
It is about
It
to
is
undergo
about
a
to
period
undergo
of
a period
chaos
of
which
chaos.
will cause men and women to lose faith and become panic-stricken. Go ahead with your
Go
work
ahead
and
with your
complete
work
your
and
philosophy.
complete your
That is your
philosophy.
mission in
That is
life.
your mission in life.
If you neglect it
If you
for
neglect
any
it for
cause
any
whatsoever,
cause
you will be
whatsoever,
reduced to
you
a
will be
primal state
reduced to a
and be
primal state
compelled
and
to
be
retrace the
compelled to
cycles through
retrace the
which you
cycles
have
through which
passed
you
during
have
thousands
passed
of
during
years.
thousands of years.
I
I
was
was
unable to tell
unable to
the
tell
following
and
morning
following
whether I
morning
had
whether
dreamed
I had
this
dreamed this
or I have
had
actually
actually
been
been
awake,
awake,
and I
and
have never
I
since
have
found
never
out
seen about
with
find
this
out
was,
with it
but I
was
do know
right.
that
I
the
do not
dream,
know the
if it
dream.
were a
If it
dream,
was a
was so
dream,
vivid
so
in my
it was
mind the next
vivid
day that
in
I
my mind the
resumed
next
my
day, and
meetings
I
the
resumed
following night.
my meeting for the following night.
Thì như dạo này tốc độ mình cao hơn rồi thì phải, hay là
Dạ,
nó còn chậm hơn vậy?
dạ, đang để nó hơn rồi đó. At our next meeting,
Thầy
the
Luật
members
đọc sách
of
nha, thầy đọc
the
từ
cabinet will go
137
into the
tới
room
nha.
together.
At our next meeting, the members of my cabinet
and stood at
all
the
filled
as
all fight
customer
into
place
the room
of the
together.
council's
I
table
stood
while
at their
Lincoln raised a glass
accustomed
and said,
places at the
"Gentlemen,
council table,
let's
while
urge
Lincoln
the
raised a glass and said, "Gentlemen, let us drink a toast to a friend who had
And
returned
after
to
that,
the
I
colony."
began to add new
After
members
that,
of
I
the
began
cabinet
to add new
committee.
members to my
Now it
cabinet
consists
until
of
now it
more than
consists of
50
more than
among the
50
priests,
among them
Charles,
priests.
scholars,
Some Paul, Galileo,
Copernicus, Asterisco,
Copernicus,
successful, and
Aristotle, Plato,
Voltaire, Vernon,
Socrates,
Spitzer. Quá trời nhiều tên.
William James. This
Cái
is
bàn
the
tròn.
first time I
This
have
is the
had
third
the
time that I
courage to
have had the
mention this.
courage to mention this.
Heretofore, I have remained
Heretofore, I have
quiet on
remained
the
quiet
subject
on the
because I
subject
knew
because I
from my
knew
own
from my
attitude in
own
connection with
attitude
such
in
matters
connections with
that
such
I would be
matters that I would
misunderstood
be
if I
misunderstood
described
if
my
I
unusual
express my
experience. I
unusual
have been
experience. I have been
emboldened now
emboldened
to
now
reduce
to
my
reduce
experience
my
to the printed
experience to
page.
the printer's
Because
page
I am now
because
less
I am now
concerned
less
about what they
concerned
say than
about
I was
what
in the
they
years that
say than
have
I was
passed.
in the years
One of
that
the
have passed.
blessings of
One of the
maturity
blessings
is
of my maturity
it
is that
sometimes
it is
brings
sometimes
one
brings
greater
the
courage
greater
to be
courage to
truthful
the
regardless of what others,
truthfulness of what
those
those
who do
who
not
do not
understand may
understand may
think or
think or
say.
say. Let me
When I be
Lest I be
misunderstood, I
misunderstood,
appreciate
I
it
refuse to
most
say the
emphatically that I still
emphatically
regard
I
my
still
cabinet
regard
meetings
my
as being
cabinet
purely
meeting as
imaginary,
purely
but I feel entitled to
imaginary, but
suggest
I
that
feel
while the members
entitled to
of my
suggest
cabinet
that
may
while the
be
member
purely
of cabinet
fictional
may be
and the
pure
meetings
fictional and the meeting
exist only in
existence
my own
only on
imagination,
my
they have led
imagination,
me
then lets
into
into the
glorious
glorious
paths
paths
of
of
adventure,
adventure,
the
colors of
requital
appreciation of
and
truth, and the
appreciation of
carries
forgiveness
greater
in
and
God
your
is
and
greater in
qualities of
divine.
says the
All
honest.
emboldened the expression of honest
Some
thoughts.
wealth is essential of the
Somewhere in
brain.
the
Its
sound
wealth
structure
is
of the brain
essential and to the
is
receive
located an
vibration
organ
through
which receives
ordinary
vibrations of thought,
so
ordinarily
fascinating
called
it is
conscious.
where the
So far, science has not
of the
discovered
sixth
where
sense
this
of
organ, the
locations,
sixth
but it
sense,
is
is
not
located, but
important.
this is
The
not
fact
important.
remains that
The
human
fact remains
beings
that human
receive
beings do
accurate
receive
knowledge through
accurate knowledge
sources
through
other than
sources
the
other
physical
than the
sense.
physical
Such
senses.
knowledge
Such knowledge
generally
generally
is
is
received
received
when
when the
the
mind is
mind are
under the
under the
influence of
influence
extraordinary
of
stimulation.
ordinary
Any
stimulation.
immersive state
An
which
immersion which
arouses the
arouse an
emotions
emotion that
and causes
causes
the heart to beat
that
more
beat
rapidly
more
than
rapidly
normally,
than
and
normal
generally does
maybe.
bring the sixth
January
sense
does bring the
into
sixth
action.
sense into action.
Anyone who has
Anyone who
experienced
experienced a near accident while
knows that
driving
on
knows
such
that on
occasions
such
the sixth sense
occasion and the sixth
often
sense
comes to
often come to
one's
the
rescue
rescue
and
and
as a
as
split
split
seconds
second
in
in
avoiding the accident.
avoiding an accident.
These facts
This
are
factor
mentioned
of mentions revealing of the state
preliminary
in the fact
to a
which
statement of
shall
fact
now
which I shall now
means
make,
and
namely that
building
during my
my
meetings with
meeting with the
invisible
invisible
counselors,
counselor,
I
I
find
find
my
the
mind
mind
much
most
receptive
receptive
to
to
ideas
ideas through and
and
knowledge
knowledge which
which
reach
flows
me through the
through the
sixth
sixth
sense.
sense. I
I
can
can truthfully
truthfully
say that
say
I
that I
owe,
owe
I owe
highly to my
entirely to my
invisible
invisible counselors
counselor
who
who credits for
spread
such
conscious
idea, fact,
ideas
or
to us
knowledge
or knowledge
as I
as I
receive
received through
through
inspiration
inspiration
on
on
scores of
scores of
occasions.
the
When I
occasions,
have
and I
faced
have faced
emergencies, some of them so
emergencies.
great
Some
that
of
my
them
life
was
was
grave
in
of my life was
jeopardy.
in
I have been
jeopardy. I have been
miraculously guided,
miraculously
but
guided by
these
these
difficulties
people
will
this
be
through the
influenced of
influence
my
of my
invisible
invisible
counselors. My
counselor.
original
My
purpose in
original
conducting
purpose
council meetings
of
with
conducting
imaginary
houses
beings
meeting with the
was solely without
imaginary begins for
impressing my
solace
own
that
subconscious
in
mind
my
through the
resting on my
principle of
subconscious
auto-suggestion
mind
with
through the
certain
principle of
characteristics I desire
auto-suggestion
to
with
invite.
certain
In
characteristics
more
which
recent
I
years,
desire
my
to apply.
experimentation has
In
taken
more
on an
recent
entirely
year,
different trend.
my
I not go
experience
to
has
my
taken to the
imaginary
entirely different
counselors
trends.
with
I'm
every
going
different
to my
background which
imaginary
influence me
counselors with
and
a
my
very
clients. The
difficult
results
who
are
will
often
confront
astonishing. Although I
in
do
my
not
field. The
depend
results
entirely
are
on this
often
form of counsel,
astonishing,
they were
although
already
I do not
copious to
depend
the 26th.
entirely on this
You, of
form of
course, have
cursive.
recognized
At
that this
108,
chapter
you of
covers the
course have
subject with
recognized that
which
this
a
chapter
majority of
covers
people
the
are not
conflict with
familiar.
a
The sixth sense
majority of
as the
speakers
subject
are not
that will
familiar
be a
with
great
them as
interest
a
and
subject. I
benefit
will
for
be the
the
great
person
interest
whose
and
aim is
benefits to the
to
person
accumulate
who
vast
aim
wealth,
at the
but it need
accumulation
not claim
wealth,
the
but it
attention of
need
those
not
whose
claim to the
desires are
addition
more
of this
modest.
old desire and more modest.
Henry Ford
Henry Ford undoubtedly
understands a next
understands and
practical
makes
use of
a
sixth sense.
practical use
His
of
vast
the sixth
business
sense.
and
His
financial
vast
operations
business and
make it necessary
fi-
for him to understand and
financially
use this
operation
principle.
make it
The late
necessary for
Thomas
him to
A.
understand and
Edison
use this
understood and
principle.
used the sixth
The late
sense in
Thomas
connection
Edison
with the
understood and
development of
used the sixth
inventions,
sense in
especially those
connections with the
involving
development of
basic patents.
invention,
In
especially
connection with
those
which
involving
he had
basic
no human
patents
experience
in
and no
connection with
accumulated
which
knowledge,
has no
besides
human
him,
experience
as
and no
was the case
accumulated
while he
knowledge to
was
guide him,
working on the
as
taking
for the
machine
pay
and the
was
moving picture
working on
machine.
the taking
Nearly all
machines
great
and the
leaders
moving
such as
picture machine.
Napoleon
Clearly, all
Bismarck,
great leaders
Joan
such
of
are
Arc,
Napoleon Hill,
Butter,
Bismarck, George R.
Confucius, and
Creed,
Mohammed
Better,
understood and properly made
Confucius,
use of the
and
sixth
Mohammed
sense
understood and
almost
properly
continuously.
made
The
use
major
the sixth
portion
sense
of their
almost
greatness consists
continuously,
in their
and
knowledge of
major
this
portions
principle.
of their
The sixth
was
sense
not
is not something
considered
that one can
and
take off
consists of the
and
knowledge
cook
in
on
this
at will.
principle.
Ability
The
to
sixth
use
sense
this
is
great
not
power
something
comes
that you
slowly
can take
through
up and put
application of
on at
other
will.
principles
Ability
outlined
to
in this
use a
book.
great power
How then does
comes
an
slowly through
individual
the
come to
application of
workable
the
knowledge of the
other
sixth sense
principle
before the
outlined
age
in
of
this book.
40? More
Seldom
often,
does
the
an
knowledge is not
individual
available
come into
until one is
complete
well
knowledge
past
of the
hearing,
sixth
and
sense
this for the
before the
reason
age
that
of
the
40. More
spiritual forces
often, the knowledge
with
is not
which the sixth
available
sense is
until
so
once
cultivated
well past
to not
50,
know
and this,
nature
and the
and
reason
become
that the
useful
spiritual
except
forces
through
with
years
which
of meditation,
the sixth sense are so
self-examination,
slowly
and
related to the
serious
mature and
thought.
become usable except through
No
years of
matter
the
who you are
meditation,
or
year
what may have
examination,
been
or
your
serious
purpose
thought.
in reading this book,
No
you
matter
can
who you
probably
are,
explain
what
it
may
with
have been
understanding the
your
principle
purpose in
described
reading
in
this
the
book, you
chapter.
can
This
probably
is,
explain
this is
it
especially
without
true if
understanding
major
the
purpose is
principle
that of
described in
accumulation
this
of money
chapter. It
or
is
other material
especially
things.
true if
The
the major
chapter of
purpose
the sixth
is that
sense
the
was
accumulation of
included
money or
because the
other
book is
material
designed
things. The
for the
chapter on
purpose
the
of
sixth sense
presenting
was
a
included
complete
because the book
philosophy
is
by
designed
which
for the
individuals
purpose
may
of presenting the complete
unerringly
philosophy
pride
by
themselves
which
in attaining
individuals
whatever
may
they
ignorantly guide
aspire.
themselves and
The starting
attaining
point of
whatever
all
they ask of
achievement
life.
is desire. The
The start
finishing
place
point
of
is not
all
even
achievement of
acknowledged.
desire,
It leads
the
to
finishing point of
understanding
that
of
branch
self,
of knowledge,
understanding
which
of
leads to
others,
the
understanding of the laws of nature,
understanding of self,
definition, and
understanding of
understanding of
other,
happiness.
understanding of law of nature, recognitions, and understanding of
This sort
happiness.
of
This
understanding
sort of
comes in
understanding
its
comes in
fullness
its
only
fullness
only the
through
familiarity
familiarities with
with and
and
use the principle of
use
sixth
the
sense.
principle of the
Hence,
sixth
that
sense
principle had
handily.
to
The
be included
simple
as a
had
part
to
of
be
this
included
philosophy
as a part
for the
of this
benefit of
philosophy
those
for
who
the
demand more
benefit
than
of
money.
those who
Having
demand
read the
more
chapter, you
than
must
money.
have observed
Having
what
this
that while
chapter, you
reading it,
must have
you are
observed
lifted to a
this
high
while
level
reading
of
it.
mental
You will
stimulation.
live into a high
Splendid.
level of
Come back to
mental
this again a month from
stimulation.
now. Read it
Splendid.
once
Come
more
back to
and
this
observe that your
again
mind will
a
depart
month
to a
from now.
still
Read
higher
it
level of
once more and
stimulation.
observe
Repeat
that
this
you might
experience from
restore
time to
and
time, giving no
produce
concern
higher
as
level of
as
stimulation.
to how much or
Repeat
how
this
little you learn.
experience from time to time,
At the time,
giving no
and
concern
eventually,
now
you will
to
find
how
yourself
much
in
and how
possession of
little
a power
you
that
learn
will
at that
enable
time,
you
and
to root out
eventually
discouragement,
you will find
nostalgia,
and
and
serve the
procrastination,
possession
and
of
draw
the
greatly on
power that
people
will
your
enable
imagination.
to
And you will
throw
have
up
felt the
in
touch of that
discouragement,
inner
must
something, the
feel
spice
and
of the moving
overcome
spirit that made you
resignations
feel the
and
great
draw
need of the year.
lightly upon your
Artists, musicians,
imagination.
writers,
Then you will
statesmen,
have left
statesmen.
the trust of that
Then you
unknown
will be
something
in
which has
position
been
to transmute your
moved
desires
spirit of
into their
every truth
physical
and
or
thinker,
financial
leader, artist,
counterpart
musician,
as
writer,
easily as you
statesman,
may lie down and quit
and then you
at
will
the
be
first sight
persistent
of
to transmute your desire into the physical or
Previous
financial
chapters have
output
described
as
how
easily
to
as you may
develop faith
lay
through
down in feet
auto-suggestion,
at the first
desires,
sight
and the
of
subconscious.
opposition.
In this
Fifth,
chapter,
faith
Faith
and
presents
fears.
detailed
Fear.
instructions for
With the
mastering
chapter,
fear.
we have
Here we will
described how to
here will
develop
be
faith
found
through
a full
auto
description of the six
suggestion,
fears.
desire,
These
and
are the
the
cause of all
subconsciousness.
discouragement,
The next chapter presents the detailed
irritability,
instruction for the mystery of
procrastination,
fear. Here,
indifference,
and it will be found
indecision,
in full
and the lack of
description of the
ambition,
six fields,
self
which are the cause of all discouragement, timidity,
enthusiasm.
procrastination,
Not only as scientific
indecision, and a
evidence,
lack of
and
ambition,
exists only in your subconscious mind.
self-reliance,
Well, they are present with the
initiative,
heart to
and
detect.
self-control
Remember
and
to, as you
enthusiasm.
analyze the
Researchers
six
healthy
causes of
as you
fear,
study
but
a
they are
sick
not
animal,
they are
they
not there
may
because
exist online
because
your
they exist
subconscious
only
mind.
in
Well,
one's
that
mind.
present
Remember
the reason
also
it
that
will be
most
hard to detect
creations of
standard
uncontrolled
to
imagination
analyze the
have
sick
caused
cause of
more
fear,
most of the
that
damage
they
people
are
have done to
nothing
their
but
own
thoughts
minds.
because they
Therefore,
exist
thoughts can
only
be
in
as
one's mind.
dangerous as
Remember
their
also
belief
that
and
Earth's
what
creation and
unearthed invisible
uncontrolled
bondage.
imagination have
The
for most
gods
of the
of the fear
damage
of
people
poverty
have done
was
to their
seized
own mind.
the
Therefore,
minds of millions of
whatever
people in
efforts as they
1929
live and work
was so
on the
real that
Earth's
it caused the
physical
world's
body,
business depression
support
this
of fear
country has ever
and
known. Moreover,
property with
this
life
particular
of
cost
mine and
still
millions of
threatens
people
some
in
of us out
in
of our risk.
1929. It was realized across business
Page
did
139
present this
to the
country and
27,
have known.
chapter 15, how
Moreover,
to
this
outwit
particular
the
course is
fast of
frightened some of us out
inventory of
of
yourself as
wits.
you read
The
this closing
chapter
chapter
15,
and
how
find out how
chapter
the
15, how
of the
to
course
outwit the
are
sick
standing in
force
the
of
way.
fear. Take inventory of yourself as you read this closing chapter and find out how
For
many
you
the
to put
thoughts
any
are
portion of this
standing in
philosophy
the
into
way.
just that videos,
Before you can
your
use
mind must
any
be prepared
portions
to
of the
receive it.
philosophy into
The
successful use, your
preparation
mind
is
must be
not
resolved
difficult.
to
It
receive it.
begins with
The
thought
preparation
study,
of
analysis,
non-paper
and
and
understanding
its
of
begin with
free
study,
enemies.
analysis,
You
and
shall have to
understanding
clear
of
out.
free enemies.
These are
You shall
indecision, doubt,
have the
and fear.
clears out.
The
These are
systems will
indecisions,
never
doubt,
function
and fear.
by
The
these three
sixth sense
negatives
will not
or any of them
function
remain in
while
your
these
mind.
three negatives and
The members of
propaganda
this
of Ram remain
unholy
in the
triad
mind. The
are
members
closely
of this
related. Where one is from the
unholy
other two
trios
are
are
close at
closely
hand.
related, while one is
Indecision
far
is
and
the
other two
sibling
are
of
close at
fear.
hand.
Remember this
Indifference is
as
the
you read.
sibling of fear.
Indecision
Remember this
crystallizes
as you read.
into doubt, into
Decisions
dread, and become fear. The
crystallize
blending
into
process
double and two blend or become
is
fear,
slow.
and
This
blending
is one reason
process
why these three
often is
enemies
slow.
are so
There
dangerous.
is no reason
They
why these three
germinate
enemies
and
are so
grow
dangerous.
without their
They
presence being
dominate
observed.
and grow
The
without
remainder of this
their
chapter
presence
describes
being
an end
observed.
of
The
the time
remainder of this
for
chapter
philosophy
describes
as a
an
whole
end
can be
and must be attached
accomplished.
before the
It
philosophy
also
as the whole can be put
analyzes
into
a
practical
condition
use.
which
It
has
also
lately
analyzes
reduced
a
huge numbers
condition
of
which
people
has
to
but
poverty,
lately
and
reduced
it
huge
says the
numbers of
truth which must
people
be
to
understood by
poverty,
only
and
accomplished
instead
with the
a truth which
riches.
must be
Whether as
understood by
increase of
all who
money or create
accumulate
minds
riches.
of far greater
Whether the
value than
measures
this.
in terms
The
of
purpose of
money
this
and
chapter is
a
to
state
turn
of
the
mind is
spotlight
far
of attention
greater
upon the
values than
cause
money.
and
The
cure
purpose of this
system.
chapter is to turn to spotlight of attention upon the core and the cure of the sick basic sphere. Before he can master
Before
an
you can
enemy,
master
he
an
must know
enemy, you
its
must
name,
know its
its
name, its
habit,
habit,
and
and
its
its
place
place
of
of
abode.
abode.
As you read,
As you read,
analyze
analyze
yourself
yourself
carefully
carefully and
and
determine
determine
with if any
if
of the six
any of the
commandments
six
have
comments
attached
here
themselves
have
to you.
attached
Do
themselves
not
to you.
be deceived
Don't be not
by the habits
deceived
of these
by the
subtle
habit of
enemies.
these
Sometimes
subtle
they remain hidden
enemies.
in the
Sometimes they
conscious mind.
remain hidden in the
Well, they are difficult
subconscious
to
mind,
locate
where,
and still
where
more
they are
difficult to
difficult to
eliminate.
locate and
The
still
six
more
basic
difficult
fears.
to eliminate. The six basic spheres. There are six basic spheres with combination with every man suffers one turns on another. Most people fortunate if they do not suffer from the intrinsics. Name in the orders of the most common appearance they are the fear of poverty at the poverty, the fear of criticism, and at the bottom are the most one worry, a fear of ill health, a fear of loss of love or someone, the fears of old age, the fears of death.
The bottom of most one's worries. All other fears are the minus importance.
They can be grouped under the six headings.
The prevalence of this fear as
a curve of the growth run in cycle for almost 6 years, while the depressions was on and flooded in the cycles of fear of property. During the Book War, we were in the cycle of fear of death. Just following the war, we are in the cycle of fear of e-health and evidenced by the epidemic of disease which spread itself and over the world. Fear is nothing more than state of mind, and one state of mind is subject to controls and directions. Peaceful citizens, as everyone knows, and not subject or attacked by disease than ordinary laymen. And for the reason that physicians do not rest disease, physicians with a fear and hesitation has been known to physically contact hundreds of people daily, and who were suffering such from contagious disease and smallpox without becoming infected. Their immunity against the disease consists largely, if not solely, in the absolute lack of fear. Man can create nothing which he has done first conceive in the form of the influence of God. Following this statement come in other and still greater importance. Men through the influence begin immediately to translate themselves into the physical equivalent, whether those thoughts are voluntary or involuntary.
Mình đọc nốt hết chương này hay là dừng ha
dạ,
cô?
Chắc dừng lại đây thôi cô. Chắc dừng lại đi cô. Dạ, tới 30 mấy rồi. Dạ rồi. Còn có một xíu nữa thôi. Mà thôi, để mình đọc tới đây là được rồi cô.
Trên thì luật trên quan.
Dạ, cảm ơn cô Hương. Dạ, 138 biết ơn thầy Luật. Dạ, mình đọc đến
tiếng của Luật Luật ơi, tiếng của em nó nhỏ lắm, không
lắm. 136 đến 138.
Con có mã số Master 6 nữa cô. Đăng ký hôm qua rồi.
Sao thầy?
Thầy nói là thầy có mã số Master 6 rồi, đăng ký hôm qua rồi.
Ngon quá, chúc mừng thầy nha.
Được học với cô Anh rồi. Được học với cô Anh rồi quá.
Chúc mừng thầy chứ trời.
Quá.
Có thầy đi bên cạnh là Oanh yên tâm rồi.
Cô.
Dạ. Dạ, biết ơn cả nhà. Mình đọc từ 136 đến 138 ạ. Dạ rồi, mình sang bên lớp grammar. Dạ, cảm ơn cả nhà rất nhiều. Cảm ơn thầy Luật.
Cô Anh biết ơn thầy Luật.
Dạ, cảm ơn thầy Luật, cảm ơn cô Hương. Dạ, mình phải đồng hành cùng nhau chứ thầy.